The story begins in a silent and dying corner of the galaxy. No stars shine here. Only broken light from distant suns touches this place. It is a forgotten sector where no ships travel and no species wants to go. In this darkness, a small alien ship drifts with weak engines and fading lights. The hull is cracked, panels are broken, and sparks fly from the walls. The ship looks like it has survived a terrible attack. But it will not survive for long. Inside, an alien child cries softly. His voice is tired, shaking, and full of fear. The air is thin and every breath burns his lungs. His skin, soft and blue, has begun to change color from lack of oxygen. His parents try their best to keep him calm, but they themselves are weak and scared. This family belongs to a species known as the Yllari. Once, the Yllari lived on a bright, beautiful world. But that world no longer exists. It was destroyed, and since then the Yllari have been traveling through the galaxy begging for help. They went to many advanced civilizations. They went to rich planets, powerful stations, and great empires. But every species refused them. Some closed their doors. Some turned their weapons toward them. And some said terrible things. You Yllari are dangerous. Your species brings trouble. A curse follows your people. So the Yllari kept running. They hid. They searched. They hoped. But hope was running out. Inside the dying ship, the father struggles to repair the oxygen system. His hands shake. Tools slip from his grip. The mother holds the child close and whispers soft words, trying to make him sleep. But the ship groans again and a new alarm beeps, louder, faster. They have less than 1 hour left. The father looks at a small map screen. Only one place is close enough. A small blue planet, one with oceans, forests, mountains, and life. The Yllari know almost nothing about humans. They know humans are young compared to many alien species. They know humans are not the strongest or the oldest race in the galaxy. But there is one thing they have heard, whispers from travelers. Humans are strange. They help even when there is no reason to help. The Yllari have no choice. They turn their broken ship toward Earth. As the ship enters Earth's atmosphere, the hull shakes violently. Plates rip off. Fire spreads across the wings. The ship spins out of control. The mother covers the child with her body. The father tries to steady the ship, but it is too damaged. Alarms scream everywhere. The oxygen fails. The lights turn red. The engines die completely. The ship is falling. Just as everything seems lost, something unexpected happens. Far below, in Earth orbit, a human rescue station receives a strange distress signal. The signal is weak, almost unreadable. But it is a cry for help. The human commander looks at the screen. Unknown alien ship. Critical condition. Crashing toward Earth. The crew members exchange worried looks. Many alien governments have warned humans about the Yllari. Humans have been told, do not help them. Stay away from them. You will regret it. A message even appears on the screen from a nearby alien patrol ship. Earth units do not attempt rescue. Turn away. These aliens are cursed. The human commander stands silent for a moment. He looks at the screen again, the falling ship, the desperate signal, the weak heartbeat readings. Finally he speaks. Prepare the rescue team. Launch the shuttle. A young engineer looks at him, confused. Sir, the other species said. The commander cuts him off. I don't care what they said. Someone out there needs help. The rescue team runs into action. They put on helmets, secure medical kits, and power up the human shuttle. The engines roar to life. The shuttle launches from the station, shooting into Earth's atmosphere toward the burning alien craft. Inside the falling Yllari ship, the mother holds her child tightly. The father can barely stay conscious. They think this is their final moment. The father whispers, voice shaking. We tried. We truly tried. The mother looks out the window and sees nothing but fire and clouds. Tears fall from her eyes. She looks down at her child and whispers the last hope she has. Maybe, the humans will save us. At that exact moment, the darkness around them changes. A bright light appears through the smoke. A human rescue shuttle breaks through the clouds. Its metal wings are steady. Its engines burn strong. It flies straight toward the dying alien ship with fearless speed. Inside, the human pilot calls out. Hold on. We see you. We're coming. The Yllari parents stare in shock. Someone finally answered their call. Someone finally came for them. The suspense rises as the human shuttle closes in. Flames surround both ships. The Yllari vessel is seconds away from breaking apart. And then, the scene ends as the rescue shuttle reaches the burning alien ship. The fate of the Yulari family now rests in human hands. Fire burned across the sky as the Yulari ship fell lower and lower. The hull was breaking apart like dry leaves in a storm. Every second the ship shook harder. Inside, the alien parents held their child close, waiting for the impact. But then, through the flames, a human rescue shuttle appeared. Bright lights shone from the front of the human craft, cutting through the smoke. The Yulari had never seen a human ship before. It looked strong, fast, and steady. The humans were flying dangerously close to the falling vessel, risking their own ship to reach the dying aliens. Inside the human shuttle, the pilot, Captain Elias Ward, kept his eyes focused on the falling ship. "Distance closing," said the co-pilot, Maya Hale. "Hull temperature rising. We are getting too close to the fire." Captain Ward didn't look away. He simply answered, "Closer." The crew felt the heat through their shields. Warning alarms rang. But not a single human backed away. They had made their choice. Someone needed help. And humans didn't turn away from that. The rescue shuttle activated its magnetic grapples. Mechanical arms reached out, trying to grab hold of the falling alien ship. Everything happened fast. A loud metallic clang shook both vessels as the grapples locked into place. The broken Yulari ship jerked violently, almost snapping in half, but the human shuttle held it steady. Inside the Yulari ship, the mother looked out the window and gasped. They caught us," she whispered. The father stared in disbelief. "Why? Why would humans risk their lives for us?" The human shuttle began pulling the damaged Yulari ship upward, fighting against gravity. The engines roared, pushing harder than they were built for. Metal groaned. Sparks flew. Captain Ward gritted his teeth. "Come on, hold together, just a little more." Slowly the descent began to slow. The flames started to fade. The Yulari ship finally leveled out. They were no longer falling. For the first time in many days, the Yulari child opened his eyes, hearing the engines calm, hearing hope. The mother touched his head gently. We are safe, little one." But they were not truly safe yet. The ship was too damaged. Oxygen was almost gone. And the Yulari family had injuries that needed urgent treatment. So Captain Ward gave the next order. "Prepare to board the alien ship." The human team grabbed their medical bags, emergency oxygen tanks, and protective suits. They locked their helmets, checked their gear, and lined up at the airlock. Maya Hale looked at the captain. "No one has ever made first contact with this species before. We don't know how they react. We don't know if they're aggressive." Captain Ward nodded. "That's true. But they called for help. And that is enough." The airlock opened with a hiss. Heat and smoke rushed in. The humans moved forward carefully, stepping onto the broken Yulari vessel. Inside, the air was thin. Sparks fell from the ceiling. The hallway walls were cracked. Every step echoed in the damaged ship. The human team used scanners to follow life signs. 3 weak signatures, but still alive. They reached a small room where the Yulari family was hiding. The father held a metal rod in shaking hands, trying to protect his family even in his broken state. The mother shielded the child with her arms. When the humans entered, the Yulari gasped. Humans looked different from them, tall, broad-shouldered, with strange round eyes and skin colors they had never seen. The atmosphere filled with tension. No one moved for a moment. Captain Ward slowly raised his hands to show he meant no harm. His voice was calm and gentle. "We are here to help. You sent a distress signal." We answered. The father lowered the metal rod slightly, confused. Humans, you came for us?" Maya nodded. "Yes. You're in danger. Let us take you to safety." The mother's eyes filled with tears. No one else helped us." Captain Ward stepped closer, slowly, carefully. "We are not no one else. We are humans, and we help those who need help." The Yulari father finally dropped the metal rod. His legs weakened and he almost fell, but a human medic caught him gently. The mother loosened her hold just enough for the medic to see the child. The child's breathing was weak and shallow. "We need to get them oxygen right now," the medic said. Humans quickly placed oxygen masks on all 3 Yulari. The child cried softly as cool air filled his lungs. His tiny body trembled, then softened in relief. The mother whispered, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The humans carefully lifted the child and supported the parents. Captain Ward looked at the burning walls around them. "We must move. This ship won't survive much longer." The team guided the Yulari family through the broken corridors. Sparks rained down. Panels shifted. The ship creaked like it was moments away from collapsing. Just before they reached the airlock, a huge explosion shook the vessel. The humans shielded the aliens with their bodies. Smoke filled the hallway. Captain Ward shouted, "Go! Go!" They rushed into the rescue shuttle. The airlock sealed behind them. As soon as the door closed, the human pilot detached the grapples. The Yalari ship fell away and exploded in a bright orange fireball. The entire shuttle shook from the shockwave. The Yalari mother cried out and held her child close. The father stared in silence at the burning remains of their ship, everything they owned, every memory gone in an instant. But then he looked at the humans. The ones who stepped into that fire to save them. The ones who risked their own ship. The ones who chose compassion, not fear. He whispered, "Humans, you saved us." Captain Ward placed a hand on the father's shoulder. "We're not finished yet. We're taking you to Earth. You will be safe there." The father looked up with trembling eyes. No one ever said those words to us before. The humans exchanged soft glances. They didn't know the full story yet, but they could see the pain in the Yalari's eyes. Their journey together had just begun. The human rescue shuttle moved through the upper atmosphere, leaving the fire and smoke far behind. Inside the ship, the Yalari family lay on medical beds as human medics checked their oxygen levels, heart rates, and injuries. The child breathed easier now. The mother held his hand. The father sat silently, staring at the humans as if trying to understand them. For the first time in a long time, they did not feel alone. Captain Elias Ward stood with the medics, giving orders and watching the family closely. His eyes were tired, but his voice remained calm. "Keep oxygen steady. Check their blood temperature. They're weaker than we expected." One of the medics nodded. "They've been traveling far too long, Captain. It's a miracle they're alive." Captain Ward looked at the Yalari father. "We'll get you to Earth soon. You'll be safe." The father's voice trembled. "Safe? I don't remember when my people last heard that word." Before Ward could reply, the shuttle's comm system beeped loudly. "Incoming transmission. Unidentified vessel." Maya Hale, the co-pilot, frowned and tapped the screen. A hologram appeared, tall, sharp-featured aliens with cold silver eyes. Their armor was marked with symbols of a powerful empire. They were the Vorkan Dominion, one of the most feared species in the galaxy. The Vorkan commander spoke in a deep, harsh voice. "Human vessel, release the Yalari at once." The shuttle crew exchanged tense looks. Captain Ward stepped forward. "This is Earth Rescue Shuttle 7. We answered a distress call. The Yalari were dying. We brought them aboard." The Vorkan commander's face twisted in anger. "You were warned about them. Many times." Maya whispered under her breath. "Here we go again?" The commander continued. "The Yalari carry danger. A curse. Helping them will bring ruin to your people." Captain Ward kept his voice steady. "We do not abandon people in need. Your warnings don't change that." The Vorkan slammed a fist on his console. "You humans are young. Foolish. You do not understand what you bring upon yourselves." Ward crossed his arms. "Then explain it." But the Vorkan only glared. "Release the Yalari. Now." The Yalari father, weak but still listening, lifted his head. His voice was barely a whisper. "Do not listen to them." The Vorkan's eyes narrowed. "Human captain. This is your final warning." Captain Ward stepped closer to the screen. His tone became firm, unshakable. "Earth stands by its choices. The Yalari stay with us." For a moment, the shuttle went completely silent. Then the Vorkan commander leaned forward slowly. "Very well, human. Your ignorance will destroy you." The transmission cut off. The screen went black. Maya exhaled sharply. "Great. Now we made them angry." Ward didn't look worried. He looked determined. "They're already angry. But we're not giving up 3 innocent lives." Inside the shuttle, fear and hope. The Yalari mother held her child tightly. Her voice shook. "They will come for us. They always come." Captain Ward knelt beside her medical bed. "Who are they? Why are they after you?" The mother's eyes filled with fear. "They are the Vorkan Dominion. They destroyed our home. They destroyed our cities. They hunted our people." The father spoke with a hollow voice. "We asked for help. No one came. No species wanted to stand against the Vorkan. So the galaxy began to call us cursed, dangerous, anything to stay away from us." Ward felt a cold anger rise inside him. "You were victims, not villains." The father nodded weakly. "But truth means nothing when the galaxy fears the Vorkan." The mother added. "And now, you humans have put yourselves in danger because of us." Ward shook his head. "No. The Vorkan made that danger. Not you." The Yalari stared at him in confusion. Why were the humans different? Why did they help when no one else did? Why did they stand up to an empire greater than themselves? They didn't understand. But they felt something. Oh, approaching Earth. The shuttle finally broke through the clouds and hovered over a human landing zone. Lights flashed below. Rescue teams and soldiers waited with equipment and medical beds. As they approached, Maya spoke. Landing gear deployed. Earth Control is ready to receive our guests. Captain Ward looked at the Yulari family. We're home. The Yulari father whispered. Home? I never thought I would feel that word again. The shuttle landed with a soft thud. Humans rushed inside with warm lights and medical blankets. They gently lifted the Yulari family onto stretchers. The child looked around with wide eyes. Everything felt strange, but safe. The mother touched the blanket around her child and whispered, "This world is warm." But the moment was interrupted by loud alarms from the human base. A communications officer ran toward Ward. Captain. Long-range scanners detect multiple Vorkan ships approaching Earth orbit. Ward felt a chill in his chest. So fast? They followed us. The officer nodded nervously. They're demanding we hand over the Yulari refugees. The entire rescue team looked at each other in shock. Earth had just protected the Yulari for a few minutes, and already the Vorkan were here. Captain Ward clenched his jaw. Send a message back. The officer nodded. What should I say? Ward looked toward the Yulari family, weak, tired, but alive, because of humans. He answered with steady, fearless words. Tell the Vorkan this. Earth does not abandon the innocent. The officer left to send the message. The Yulari father's eyes filled with emotion. You will fight them? For us. Captain Ward nodded. We will stand with you. Even if the galaxy won't. The mother covered her mouth, holding back tears. The child looked up at the captain with quiet trust. In that moment, the Yulari realized something powerful. Humans were not like the others. Humans were willing to stand against empires. Humans were willing to protect strangers. And for the first time in many years, the Yulari family felt hope stronger than fear. The human base on Earth was filled with tension. Soldiers stood ready. Alarms flashed across screens. Doctors moved quickly around the Yulari family, checking their health and giving them warm blankets and clean oxygen. Outside the medical bay, Captain Elias Ward waited with his arms crossed. His jaw was tight. His eyes were fixed on the large glass window where the Yulari child lay resting. The mother sat beside him, gently touching his hand. The father sat on the other bed, watching everything silently. Ward had seen fear before. He had seen refugees. He had seen victims of war. But the fear in the Yulari's eyes was different. It felt deeper, older, like it had lived inside them for years. Maya Hale walked into the room with a datapad. Captain, Earth Command wants a full report. Also, she lowered her voice. 3 Vorkan warships have entered the outer edge of the solar system. Ward nodded slowly. He knew the Vorkan wouldn't wait long. Before Ward could reply, the Yulari father spoke softly. You want to know why the Vorkan fear us? Why they chase us? Ward turned to him. Yes. We need to understand the truth. The father looked at his wife for strength. She nodded slowly, placing a hand on his arm. The father took a long breath and began to speak. White medium star, our world was not cursed. It was destroyed. His voice trembled, but he forced the words out. Our planet was called Yularos, a peaceful world. We had forests of silver trees, oceans that glowed at night, and cities powered by sunlight. We never made war. We never fought other species. The mother added quietly. We believed in kindness, maybe too much. Captain Ward listened closely. Maya recorded every word. The father continued. One day the Vorkan Dominion came to us. Not as enemies, but as friends. They offered technology. They offered trade. They offered protection. Ward frowned. They used diplomacy first? The father nodded. Yes, and we trusted them. Why wouldn't we? They were powerful, respected, and they brought gifts. The mother's voice grew sharp with pain. But it was a lie. All of it. The father closed his eyes, remembering visions he wished he could forget. They studied our world. They searched our oceans. They tested our air. And soon, they learned something valuable. Ward leaned forward. What was it? The father opened his eyes. Our planet had rare energy crystals. Pure, powerful, impossible to find anywhere else. Maya whispered, resources. The father nodded bitterly. Yes, resources. The thing empires destroy worlds for. He clenched his hands into fists. When we refused to give the crystals, the Vorken showed their true face. They did not attack our armies. They did not fight us. They attacked our climate. Ward's eyes widened. Your climate? The mother spoke softly. They changed our air. They poisoned our seas. They made our sun burn hotter. They broke our sky. The father's voice cracked. In 5 days, our world died. The room fell silent. Humans stared in shock. The Yalari mother wiped her tears. We tried to warn other species. We tried to tell them the truth. But the Vorken spread faster lies. The father spoke again, bitterness in his tone. They told the galaxy we were cursed. That our world was destroyed by fate, not by them. They told others to avoid us. And the galaxy believed them. Ward felt anger burning in his chest. They turned you into outcasts, to hide their crime. The father nodded. We became homeless, hunted, blamed for our own suffering. And anyone who helped us would become an enemy of the Vorkan. The mother looked at the humans with tear-filled eyes. That is why no one helped us. That is why they refused us food, shelter, even water. They were afraid. The father's voice softened as he looked at the humans. But you saved us anyway. Ward shook his head slowly. You weren't cursed. You were victims of a genocide. The father nodded. Yes. And the Vorkan will erase anyone who tries to protect us. White medium star, the human reaction. Ward stood silent for a long moment, thinking. Maya finally spoke. What do we do, Captain? Earth Command will ask the same question. Ward's answer was firm. We protect them. That's what we do. The Yalari mother blinked in shock. You would risk your world, for us? Ward looked at her with steady eyes. Your people. You deserve a place to live. You deserve safety. And Earth will not stand aside while a powerful empire hunts innocent lives. The father started to speak, but Ward raised a hand. We humans know what it feels like to be ignored, underestimated, called weak. We know what it feels like when no one stands with you. Maya added quietly. We won't let the Vorkan hurt you again. The Yalari mother covered her mouth, tears falling freely. The child, still weak, opened his eyes and whispered. Humans, good? Ward smiled softly. Yes. Humans good. White medium star, the Vorkan threat deepens. A sudden alarm echoed through the building. A soldier rushed into the medical bay. Captain Ward. The Vorkan ships have moved closer. They are now inside Mars orbit. Ward's expression hardened. And their message? The soldier swallowed nervously. They say this is our final warning. If we do not hand over the Yalari, they will take them by force. The mother gripped her child tightly. The father shook his head in despair. Ward turned to the soldier. Prepare defensive systems. Alert Earth Command. And keep the Yalari family hidden. The soldier saluted and ran off. The Yalari father looked at Ward with fear. You cannot fight the Vorkan. They are too strong. Ward stepped closer and put a hand on the father's shoulder. Maybe. But humans don't walk away from the helpless. The father whispered. Why? Why do you help strangers? Ward's answer was simple and powerful. Because someone has to. The room fell silent. The Yalari realized something deep and life-changing. Humans were not like the rest of the galaxy. Humans were willing to stand against monsters. Humans were willing to risk their world. For justice. And for the first time in their lives. The Yalari believed their nightmare might finally end. The Yalari child slept quietly for the first time in days. The medical room was peaceful now. Warm lights, soft humming machines, and the faint sound of humans talking outside the glass window. For the Yalari parents, this quiet felt unreal. It felt like a dream too soft to touch. They sat beside the bed, holding their child's small hands, afraid that if they blinked, it would all disappear. The door opened with a soft hiss. Dr. Elaine and Captain Rourke entered, both smiling gently. Your child is stable now, Elaine said. Stronger than yesterday. Very strong. The Yalari mother lowered her head, struggling to speak through emotion. You saved what everyone else threw away. Rourke stepped closer. We didn't save something thrown away, he said softly. We saved a family. For a moment, the room was filled with quiet emotion, almost sacred. Globe showing Europe, Africa, the decision humanity must make. Later, the humans gathered in a meeting room. Scientists, soldiers, rescue workers, representatives from Earth's nations. Everyone sat around a round table, looking at reports and data sent from the alien ship. The Yalari's history was displayed on a hologram: war, exile, disease, and centuries of discrimination. Entire star systems had labeled them as cursed because of a past misunderstanding involving an energy parasite that once spread through their species. But the truth was simple. The Yllari were not dangerous anymore. They were healed. But no one had ever forgiven them. Rourke looked around the room. Other species are already sending warnings, he said. Messages like, humans stay away. They will bring chaos. One scientist sighed. If we keep helping them, we might lose our alliances. Elaine raised her hand. And if we abandon them? She asked. Then what kind of species are we? The room fell silent. No one had an answer. No one wanted to say the easy thing. Finally, the United Earth representative spoke, voice calm and steady. We helped them once. We won't stop now. Rourke nodded firmly. Then it's decided. Humanity stands with the Yllari. And with that, everything changed. Rocket the galaxy reacts. It didn't take long. Messages flooded Earth's communication network. Warnings, threats, disbelief. Some species demanded the Yllari be handed over. Others cut diplomatic ties. A few races simply said, you humans are too soft, too emotional, too foolish. But humans already knew the truth. Compassion was not weakness. It was power. Earth released a message to the galaxy. We will not judge a species by their past, only by who they choose to be now. The message traveled through star systems like a beam of light. Some mocked it, some feared it, but a few admired it. Little by little, a shift began. Blue Square, the Yllari's first step on Earth. 2 days later, the Yllari parents stood at the entrance of a human medical garden. Fresh air brushed their faces. Sunlight warmed their skin. Human children played nearby, laughing, running, falling, getting up again. The Yllari mother whispered, "It smells safe here." The father nodded. "I did not know a world could feel so alive." Elaine arrived with a gentle smile. "Your child is awake. They want to see you." The parents rushed inside, a mix of fear and hope in their hearts. They found their child sitting up, weak but smiling. The child lifted a hand toward their parents. "We are safe," the child asked softly. The father held them close. "Yes, the humans saved us." The child looked toward the window where a group of humans stood watching with warm eyes. "Humans?" the child whispered, amazed. "They are not like the stories." "No," the mother said. "They are better. White medium star, a promise that changes everything." Later that night, the Yllari family stood on a balcony overlooking Earth's ocean. The water reflected the stars above, millions of them, like a second sky. Rourke joined them quietly. "What will happen to us?" the Yllari father asked. Rourke took a breath. "We can offer you a home here. A temporary one for now, maybe a permanent one later. But more importantly, we will teach the galaxy the truth about you." He extended his hand. "Walk with us. Into the future." The Yllari father hesitated only for a moment, then placed his three-fingered hand into Rourke's. It felt like history changing shape. The Yllari mother looked at Earth's horizon. "For the first time," she said, "we feel hope." "And hope," Rourke answered, "is what humans are best at giving." Milky Way ending of Part 5. As the night sky spread across Earth, the Yllari family stood between the stars and the sea. They were no longer alone. The galaxy had abandoned them. But humans? Humans stepped forward. And the future of two species began with that single act of kindness. Earth's skies were calm, but the galaxy was not. Ever since humanity announced it would protect the Yllari, tension rose like a silent storm. Alien governments sent warnings. News channels across different worlds debated Earth's reckless compassion. Some praised humans. Many criticized them. A few threatened them. And far beyond, in the cold shadows of space, a dangerous group began to move. They called themselves the Varan Council, one of the most powerful civilizations near Earth's region of the galaxy. For centuries they claimed to be protectors of order. And to them, the Yllari represented chaos they had worked hard to erase. When Earth defied them, the Varan Council saw it as a challenge. And challenges must be crushed. Milky Way Earth monitors an unsettling silence. In Earth's Space Command Center, Captain Rourke stood before a holographic display. Dozens of small icons, ships, stations, satellites, floated in glowing formation. Yet something about the silence out there felt wrong. "Any new transmissions from the alien coalitions?" he asked. The communications officer shook her head. "Nothing, sir. Not even the usual warnings." Rourke frowned. "When enemies go quiet, they're planning something." Dr. Elaine entered the room, still in her medical coat. "The Yllari family is resting," she said. "The child is walking again." Weak but better. Rourke allowed himself a small smile. That's good news. We need some today. But Elaine noticed his worry. What's wrong? He zoomed in the hologram to a far region of space. The Varen patrols. They vanished from their usual routes. Elaine stiffened. You think they're coming here? I think, Rourke said softly. They're preparing to force us to hand the Yulari over. Earth had made a promise. And the Varen Council wanted to break it. Police car light the visitors who arrive without asking. On the fourth day, Earth's long-range sensors finally caught something. A fleet. Not enormous, but large enough to show intimidation. 12 Varen ships formed a triangle formation heading directly toward Earth. Their engines left a faint purple trail, like a scar across the stars. Inside the command center, alarms buzzed. Unknown fleet approaching Earth space perimeter. Speed increasing. Rourke stepped forward, eyes narrowing. Open a communication line. Static filled the speakers, then a cold, deep voice spoke. This is High Counselor Varentor. Earth has taken in a dangerous species. Release the Yulari to us. Immediately. Rourke leaned closer to the microphone. They are refugees, he said. They were nearly dying. Humanity does not hand families to their hunters. The Varen voice darkened. Then humanity is now protecting criminals. Elaine shook her head in frustration. This is about old prejudice, she whispered. They refuse to believe the Yulari changed. Rourke spoke firmly. We do not turn away those who need help. Not today. Not ever. For a moment, silence hung in the air. Then the Varen leader replied. Then you leave us no choice. The line cut. Rourke exhaled slowly. The storm has begun. Blue Square, the Yulari family learns the truth. Later that evening, the Yulari parents stood on a balcony, staring at the night sky. Even without knowing the details, they could feel the tension. Something heavy was moving toward Earth. The Yulari child tugged gently at their mother's hand. Are humans in danger because of us? The child asked, voice trembling. The mother hesitated. I don't know. Rourke approached quietly. You didn't bring danger, he said. The Varen bring danger. Because they fear what they don't understand. The Yulari father bowed his head. We never wanted conflict. We only wanted to live. And you will, Rourke promised. We will protect you. Earth stands by its word. But the child still looked unsure. Why? Why help us when others hate us? Rourke knelt down so he was eye level with the child. Because we know what it feels like, he said softly. To be judged. To be underestimated. To be told you don't matter. Humans had been seen as a weak species once too. Humans had risen anyway. We help, Rourke said, because someone has to break the cycle. The child slowly nodded, tears forming. You are kind. I want to be like humans. And that single sentence carried more hope than an entire fleet of ships. Globe showing Europe, Africa, the choice Earth makes. Inside Earth's Global Council chamber, leaders from every continent gathered. The Varen fleet was only hours away from reaching orbit. What do we do? One leader asked. We stand our ground, another answered. But war? Over a single family? Someone whispered. Elaine stepped forward. Not a single family, she said. A principle. If we abandon them today, we will abandon others tomorrow. If we give in to fear, then we become the galaxy that mistreated them. A long silence followed. Then the council gave their decision. Humanity will not surrender the Yulari. Rourke saluted. Prepare planetary defenses. No aggression, but no retreat. The humans braced themselves. The Varen fleet drew closer. The galaxy watched. And at the center of everything, a small alien child held their parents' hands, hoping humans would keep their promise. They would. Because humanity had made its choice. This wasn't just about the Yulari anymore. It was about who humans decided to be. The stars outside Earth's atmosphere were alive with movement. 12 Varen ships hovered in a perfect triangular formation, engines glowing faint purple against the black void. Every one of them was armed to the teeth. Missiles, energy cannons, and shields designed to crush entire fleets. Inside Earth's orbital command center, alarms blared. Screens flashed red, tracking every Varen ship's trajectory. Captain Elias Ward stood in front of the holographic display, his hands resting firmly on the console. Status report, he demanded. The tactical officer, Lieutenant Mara Chen, looked tense. They're holding position just outside the upper atmosphere, sir. Weapons primed. Communication still silent since the last warning. Ward's jaw tightened. Good. Let them come closer. We're ready. Mara hesitated. Sir, these ships could destroy our orbiting defense platforms before we even fire a shot. Ward's gaze never left the approaching fleet. Then we give them one chance to leave. If they choose war, then they will see what humans can do. Milky Way, a last attempt at peace. The comm line activated. Ward pressed the talk button. "This is Captain Elias Ward of Earth Orbital Command," he said, voice calm but firm. "You will not harm the Yulari. They are refugees. They are under Earth protection. Leave now and no one will be harmed." A long pause followed. Then the Varen commander's cold voice replied. "You overestimate your strength, humans. You will hand over the Yulari, or we will take them by force." Ward's voice was steady. "We do not negotiate with threats. You have one chance to leave. Take it." The Varen commander's voice dropped, almost a growl. "Then prepare for destruction." And with that the Varen fleet fired. Rocket, the battle begins. Bright streaks of purple energy tore through space as the first volleys hit Earth's outer defenses. Shockwaves rocked the orbital stations. The human fleet returned fire, missiles, energy cannons, and experimental shield technology designed to protect both Earth and its new refugee allies. Inside the command center, Ward barked orders. "Deploy interceptors. Shield generators to maximum. Keep civilians on the surface safe." Lieutenant Mara Chin guided a squadron of human fighters toward the incoming ships. They dodged purple blasts, weaving between laser fire and debris. Explosions lit up space. Outside, the Yulari family watched from the medical bay's reinforced viewing deck. The child clutched their mother's hand. Their small eyes widened at the sight of humans and aliens clashing above the blue planet. The father whispered, barely audible, "They are fighting for us?" Ward, standing near the observation window, turned and nodded. "Yes. Humans fight for what is right, not what is easy." Glowing star, the courage of humanity. Even as the Varen ships advanced, the humans held their ground. Orbital defense platforms fired in perfect sequence. Fighters weaved around enemy fire. Shields held against energy blasts that could have vaporized entire cities. The Varen commander, seeing the unexpected resistance, grew furious. He ordered a concentrated strike at the central human orbital station. A massive energy cannon powered up, aiming directly at the station where Earth's command center was located. Ward's eyes narrowed. He knew the station could be destroyed along with thousands of lives. "Activate the new prototype shield," he shouted. A shimmering dome of energy erupted around the station. The Varen cannon hit, sending shockwaves and fire through the shield, but it held. The humans had bought themselves time. From the viewing deck, the Yulari mother gasped. They are protecting everyone." Ward turned to her. "Not just everyone. The innocent. Always the innocent. Fire the turning point." The Varen fleet underestimated the humans' determination. For centuries their spies had said humans were weak, emotional, and naive. But humans had something the Varen could not understand: courage, strategy, and an unwillingness to abandon those in need. A squadron of human fighters led by Lieutenant Chin executed a daring maneuver. They lured several Varen ships into the path of Earth's orbital artillery. One by one, enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. From the viewing deck, the Yulari child clapped in wonder. "Humans, amazing." The father looked at Ward with tears in his eyes. "You saved us. And now, the galaxy sees what humans are." Ward shook his head. "We did not fight for recognition. We fought because it is right. That is what makes humans, human." Cross swords, the Varen retreat. The battle continued for hours. Space lit up with fire and energy. But humans never gave up. Their determination, their clever strategies, and their willingness to risk everything for the Yulari began to turn the tide. Finally, the Varen commander realized his fleet could not win without massive losses. Reluctantly, he ordered a retreat. The remaining ships turned and vanished into the darkness of space, leaving the human fleet in control of Earth's orbit. Silence fell. The stars seemed calm again. Ward lowered himself into a chair, exhausted but relieved. His crew cheered quietly. Outside, the Yulari parents held their child, tears streaming down their faces. The mother whispered, "They protected us when no one else would." Ward smiled softly. "That is what humans do. We help. Always." Milky Way, the Yulari realized the truth. For the first time in generations, the Yulari felt safe. They were still far from home, but they were no longer hunted. They were no longer alone. The father placed a hand on Ward's shoulder. "We have seen many species. None would have done this, except humans." Ward looked out at the stars. "Courage is not about size or strength. It's about choice. And humans choose to protect the helpless. The child leaned against the mother's shoulder. I want to be like humans when I grow up. Ward chuckled softly. Then grow brave, little one. That is the best way to honor what humans do. White medium star ending of part 7. As the Varan fleet disappeared beyond the edge of the solar system, Earth's skies returned to calm. Humanity had stood firm. They had protected the innocent. And they had shown the galaxy that compassion, courage, and integrity were not weaknesses. They were the greatest strength of all. Above Earth, a small alien family smiled. The Yllari had survived the storm. And for the first time in their lives, they believed in the promise of hope. Captain Ward turned to his crew. Today we proved one thing, he said, voice steady and proud. No matter how dark the galaxy becomes, humans will never abandon those in need. And in that moment, the legend of humanity began to spread across the stars.